kinds of fabulous things. And then I saw that Selling Sunset season 6 is out. So let's dive into episode 1. Actually, did not rewatch the previous episode. Sorry, the previous season. But like, as with every season, obviously they do a quick recap on what, um, a summarized recap on what has happened in the previous season. So it leaves off with, if you can recall, Jason and Chriselle. Jason Oppenheim, one of the owners, co-owners of the Oppenheim Group, their brokerage company, and Chriselle Stiles are no longer together. So, sad face about that. Sad face. They're so cute. I mean, I guess some good things just doesn't last very long, huh? Anyway, so with this new season, we have the new edition. I guess they're doing it like one episode at a time. Episode 1, which is called I Wanted to Hate You. Ooh, I was like, okay. We're starting off with a snark. So the new edition is Bree, and I think TC or TIC is her last name. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. Sorry. Uh, don't pinch me. Anyway, so the episode starts with Chriselle and Emma actually catching up. I have to say though, side note, that suit, that glittery suit that Emma has on, hello, it's just that sequin suit. It's just giving me all kinds of serious bombastic vibes. I was like, oh, love it, love it. It's just like glittery and chic and all kinds of fabulous. Okay, anyway, so enough of that. Um, it shows in this episode, it shows Rochelle is having the time of her life with her new boo thing, G Flip. And her boo is like super sage. They show a clip of her with Rochelle, and while she's recording music, she's playing drums. I believe it's for her album. And her boo is like, after Rochelle says, you know, I want to meet up with the girls, like, the rest of the girls in the brokerage at the office. But then I'm also kind of leery. I'm paraphrasing here. Our bro's like, you know what, babe, just chill out in the peace bubble and don't let anyone pop it. Hello. I think that is something she needs to like chant to herself, whenever she's, with these girls, because it can be highly competitive, even though you are friends and you hang out in real life, like outside of the office type of life. It's hard to separate when the industry you're in is such that it's so cutthroat. So anyway, so Chriselle delves into her current relationship with Mary, which previously we had seen was very, very, very close. And now, post the breakup with Jason, has become more distant and more cold. And she doesn't know where they stand now. I have you. It's not a secret that Mary and Jason had so many decades of friendship between them, and even like romantic relationship at some point, living together. They have a dog together, or dogs. Can't remember if it's a dog or dogs. Anyway, of course now Mary is married to her hottie body Romaine. You go, girl. get that, honey. But honestly, Mary and Romaine, her little French beau, well, he's not little, but they're so cute together. They're just so cute together. And side note about Mary's new veneers? Question mark. These ones fit her nicely. I know. I was like, those look like new veneers, but they look more natural. You know, they don't look like chiclets. Like they look, yeah. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen some people with veneers. They look like chiclets, but Mary's look more natural looking, and I like it. It fits her face better. Um, of course, to make it look as natural as it does on her, I'm sure it must have cost some buku money, honey. But look, being in the public eye, it's a great investment. I'm just saying. Oh, so um, they were at Jason's condo slash penthouse project, which is slowly coming along, except obviously all renovations and such cost money, a pretty shiny penny everywhere you look. But, you know, Jason's got the dough for this. He's got the bag and then some. I'm sure it's costing now, but when he does sell it, he's gonna get all of that back and then some. A few bags here. I'm just saying. Um, so I had to say, Chelsea, shot of Chelsea with her, uh, it's just her snark. It's just, I don't know. I feel like there's a refreshing aspect to Chelsea. She's just very. She's got that snark. She's got that sweet. I like Chelsea. I like her as a new addition. She's a go getter. I mean, she is actually selling um, homes versus just being there, and like uh, waiting on like um, well, what do they call it? A listing to be given to them or something, or like being assigned to them by the brokers. She's out there in her high heels and sky high heels, and I feel like I can totally imagine her walking around with her sky high heels, skin tight latex, and cracking that whip, honey. Like cracking the whip on like the would be sellers, like buy this house, buy that house, buy that mansion. Just kidding. Anyway, but I think she's hilarious. Heather is so cute. Heather in her like sexy pregnant outfits. She's got the heels on, like she's not even pregnant. Girl, love that vibe. Like you do you, girl. You do you. I mean, I probably couldn't pull that off, but you pulled that off, girl. And you look good doing it. Keep doing you. So they go into the Brokers Open. This is Emma's Brokers Open. And I gotta say, Emma was looking like Hati Bombadi. But I think all of them did also. They all, put in an effort with their outfits and the makeup. And honestly, I would go just for the food and the free booze. I mean, champagne was flowing. You got the sushi, you got the homemade pizza. Um, get me the cocktails, honey, or two. Or you know what? I would just go home with a case of the champs that you won't be opening because it's already in the trunk. Just saying. So I love Jason's shirt. I mean, the silk shirt, whatever, the silk paneled shirt. It's funny how he says his brother thinks that with the shirt on, he looks like he could be like a 70s porno. And I'm like, ah, dang. Jason, I. Sarsci's still older than you, honey, but you know, I do like the shot. And then, like, the shots of Jason when Chriselle finally walked into the party, and Jason just kind of like looking wistfully at Chriselle, like, hey, I'm over here, like a little puppy, like, give me attention or something. It was very cute. It's very like giving off that vibe, like, is Chriselle the one that got away for Jason? It's total, that scene is totally giving off that vibe. And then when they started talking, just kind of trying to break the ice and trying to figure out how to break the ice, even though they may have already sorted through their feelings in the past before the season started. Obviously, there was still awkwardness between them, and these are real emotions. What can I say? There will be awkwardness, but I'm glad that they actually were kind of able to get past it. Obviously, with Emma's help and her like gigantic headlights, and that what do you call it, the shot, that shot from Emma's headlights, seen around the world. Oh, that was funny. Anyway, and it was cute too that Jason was admitting that yeah, post the breakup, he totally was stalking Chriselle's Instagram. I mean, look, at least he admits it, right? I mean, that's the first step in moving on, is to admit what failed, what didn't fail, what is there and what isn't there anymore, right? So, anyway, so Chelsea was, it was interesting when they panned to Chelsea, the camera panned to Chelsea, and she looked uncomfortable. Like, there was like this passing look on her face. It was just, she looked uncomfortable when Bree walked in and was recognized by Chelsea's friends. And I'm like thinking, hmm, I've seen that side eye before. Is there drama brewing between the two of them? Like, is Bree familiar with Chelsea in like, different capacity, like in their previous lives or something? Um, like, did they date the same person before? I don't know. But there's also like that feeling of, hmm, is Chelsea feeling threatened, like being passive aggressive with Brie because she's the newest girl, and she's just kind of trying to, Chelsea is trying to see, gauge what Brie is made of. Hmm. It's too soon to tell, but definitely keeping an eye on that one. So Mary and Chriselle do end up talking to hash out their feelings, which again has soured between them as they were previously close. Chriselle was telling Mary that she felt she lost Mary in the divorce. Okay, so it wasn't a divorce. It was more like she and Jason, Chriselle and Jason broke up. Mary being close to both of them, obviously much closer to Jason given their history. But Chriselle felt like Mary took sides. In a divorce, in relationships ending, there will always be collateral damage. Seriously. It's like we have to be open to knowing that there will always be collateral damage. Whether your friends say, "Oh, I will always stand by you," in the early days of your like the demise of your relationship, and then they end up like not being there anymore, or something to that effect, like slowly kind of maneuvering themselves out of being around you all the time and being available to you all the time. It um it's bound to happen. I mean, I would say be glad that you had people there in the good times. Be glad that you had people there in the bad times. And, and like, just learn from that. Maybe that's all they could give. Maybe that was all that they were capable of giving, to kind of preserve something for themselves. Who knows? And sometimes we can be selfish when we are hurting and feel like you should be more on my side because, um, I'm a woman and you should feel this what I'm feeling, or you should be able to imagine how I'm feeling, and vice versa. But again, I feel like we should just be thankful that they had expended their energy on us when they did. And that was, if that was all that they were capable of giving us, at least they gave us that, right? Um, is the relationship salvageable? I think so. I think it just needs to give some time. I think the awkwardness just needs to kind of get um, sorted and dumped. Like, put that all in a bin and toss it out. Like, call the garbage person and take that away and don't chase after it. Just saying. So, anywho, I I have to say though, back to Chelsea before I forget. Back to Chelsea. Looking uncomfortable when Bree came in. So her friends, Chelsea's friends, are actually familiar with Bree, and I feel like maybe that could have been the cause of her feeling the way she did. Like, if I bring my friends around Bree, would my friends want to just hang out with her again? Like they had been in the past, perhaps, and maybe kind of leave me out in the dark. Who knows? But it's too early to tell where the potential animosity between Chelsea and Bree stems from. So I'm really curious to see how that would pan out. You know? And then like with going back to Chriselle saying, "Oh, um, the feelings are still fresh." And then when this episode actually ends, it ends with the question from one of the producers who asks Chriselle, "Is there a possibility of you forgiving Mary for not being there, quote unquote, while you were going through your breakup with Jason?" Okay, that was paraphrased, but Chriselle does not give an answer. She just purses her lips together. She doesn't shake her or nod her head. She just looks straight ahead. Like, so there's more to it than that. On to next episode. Episode 2. But that that would be, hang on one second. I gotta sneeze. She just looks straight ahead. Like, so there's more to it than that. On to next episode. Episode 2. But that Ooh. Anyway, you guys know when I sneeze, it's just a sneeze marathon. Anywho, so we are now on episode 2. Um, so this episode is titled TBD on Brain. Okay. Anyway, so they introduce a new addition. Her name is Nicole, and as she puts it, she's the top producing longest agent in the Oppenheim group. I said as she puts it. I don't know. Shoot. I'm not her boss. How would I know? And so it opens at a potential new listing in Santa Monica for Chelsea. She's hoping to add this home to help her expand her business in a different area outside of Manhattan Beach because she feels like she is doing very well in Manhattan Beach. She is selling, properties left and right over there, and she wants to just expand and see, you know, if she can sell more properties on the Santa Monica side and maybe even on the Hollywood Hills side. Who knows? Anyway, she's so cute. She's like all dolled up in this like her fabulous Cardi shorts 2-piece outfit. Chelsea is all she's all about her Barbie girl. Barbie. Uh so the listing is like phenomenal. It's an indoor outdoor pool, heavy door. Like the owner wants to make sure the brick bats are kept out, honey. Old and bad elements are out. It has an indoor basketball court. I mean, hello. You, a clubhouse. It's got multiple floors. It's got all kinds of amenities. And Nicole. Nicole being the one to, give her 2 cents because she was brought there by Mary, who hopefully, as Chelsea wanted, would be able to give her a fair assessment, a real and honest assessment on where the price should be on this new potential listing. So, Nicole's advice is, maybe Chelsea, because Chelsea had broached the idea that the current owner of the potential listing is open to having a co-listing, which means having 2 different realtors, working on trying to sell this property. And Nicole's like, yeah, I have to like downvote that. Thumbs down on that idea, because Nicole feels like you're gonna do a lot of the work, but then you have to cut the bag in half. That's the other side of that. I mean, the other side would be if you do sell it, yes, you do have to cut the bag in half, but you still end up selling it, and it still counts towards your business. But I guess Nicole's really not into that. So, I mean, Chelsea, being the snarky girl that she is, she's like, I am not going to take that. I am here for the client. I am going to listen to the client. And whatever the client wants, I will do. Because I want to get their business. She's basically taking Nicole's advice, taken and took it out to the bin. So Chelsea, you go, girl. Go sell that house and stick it to her. Just saying. And then like they pan to the next thing is they show the girls at the office. But then I'm like, I'm really not feeling Amanda's pink hair. I don't know. I'm just not here for it. I feel like And I'm really not trying to be rude, but I feel like she can source. You can find a better source for these wigs. Like, girl, I'm sure you can afford good wigs and some good people who can actually get you the good wigs, girl. Anyway, okay, I digress. And it was kind of funny though because Nicole immediately looked uncomfortable when Chriselle walked in the door with her like red jumpsuit on, like um, I am here to do business, honey. Jumpsuit. Like, I am the boss. And Mary, too, actually. Mary also looked uncomfortable. Um, but I get the feeling that Nicole is not here to play. Like, there's just a storm, a slow moving storm brewing between Nicole, I feel like, and Chriselle that would probably play out in later episodes. But yeah, I feel like. Anyway, so Bree, during their office meeting, Bree does not does not want to miss the opportunity to address Chelsea regarding Emma's broker open, where Bree felt like she was being set up by Chelsea by bringing up or by bringing with her as guests these non brokerage people who happen to be friends with Chelsea. According to Chelsea, these people are her like close friends. But Bree felt like that was like a setup to try to um, get her riled up, get her to miss a beat, get like a misstep, or get a rise out of her, you know, something. Um, oh, and by the way, I have cough drop in my mouth, and I see like Bree side eyeing Chelsea like there are embers in Bree's eyes, like slowly simmering, like slowly getting fanned. Um, but then I was thinking, as soon as I saw it, I was like, girl, there has got to be like 10 million plus people living in LA or more, or a little less, maybe more, probably more. I'm sure you're bound to run into someone from your past, even if it's like a millisecond. Literally, that's a ton of people. And plus, Sunset area is like tiny, tiny, tiny. Tiny compared to others. It's so congested and dense. I mean, if you and your previous friends or previous affiliates all tend to hang out in the same relative area, you would definitely be seeing each other for sure, running into each other for sure. Like, you don't have to acknowledge them if you don't want to, or if they don't want to. You just keep it moving, girl. Hmm. But look, it is proving to be a drama-filled season, I have to say. Based just off of Chelsea and Brie, ooh, the sparks flying between these two, and not for the right reasons, by the way. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Y'all gotta keep your eyes peeled. I feel like they're gonna come to some kind of like blowout or something. Like fireworks, fireballs everywhere, like just zoom, 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 zoom. Anyway, so um, according to Chelsea, after Bree's question to Chelsea about Chelsea, bringing non industry or non brokerage people in a broker's open, according to Chelsea, um, that wasn't like her actual intent, but at Emma's listing, she's got the listing for Micah's property. When she was talking to Chelsea about the simmering um, discontent or issue between her and Bree during the office meeting, Chelsea said that she had become to kind of get interested on who this new person Jason was going to add to the brokerage, because she had heard that this new agent didn't have to sell a home first to be offered a position at the brokerage like Chelsea had to do previously. She had to sell a home so Jason would consider her employment at the Oppenheim Group's office. And so Chelsea was, interest was piqued. So she did a little digging and found out that her friends is also friends. That's a loose term, I guess, that she's using with Bree. And Chelsea felt that Bree could have chosen also a different time and place to quote unquote confront Chelsea about the supposed setup and not at the first team meeting with the group. I mean, I'm just saying, keep those claws sharp, girl. But know when to use them. Don't just swing them around everywhere and at all times. You might scratch yourself up. Just saying. Sheesh. That whole keep your friends close and your enemies close, or something like that. Jeez. And then they show, after which they show Chriselle and Amanda meeting up over cocktails, discussing Mary, hopefully taking the time to get to know Chriselle's new boo, as the others have had an opportunity to do, and hopefully also bear their hearts out to each other about what each other have felt or may have felt regarding the fallout of the Jason and Chriselle breakup. I mean, at this point, it feels like a multi-hyphenate breakup with multiple people involved. It's yeah. Just saying. I'm just saying. It's just giving off that vibe. And then also Chriselle touched lightly on Nicole, the new agent, because she feels like Nicole is giving her this weird energy when in the past they had worked before together and everything seemed like it was going fine. Like, there was no issues. At least she didn't think that Chriselle didn't feel like there was no issues. But, again, she doesn't know where this cold shoulder is coming from. That's what basically Chriselle is saying about Nicole. And then Heather also was talking to Bree. Bree and Heather have like this cute little friendship started, and I think it's cute. Um, they were talking about how Bree felt again ambushed by Chelsea and her sneaky scheming by bringing in the people from Bree's past and making her slip on, or trying to make her slip on those red bottom heels. But hey, I feel like those girls somehow got you to slip off your Zen, girl, so you gotta grow thicker skin. It's a calculating cutthroat industry, so you gotta learn to smile through your guards and keep doing you. Like, don't let your guard down, but just smile through it. Don't let them know you're sweating, girl. Like, sometimes it's good to acknowledge that there's things that are bothering you, but then if it's something that's like basically a waste of your energy, it basically is a waste of your energy. So keep it moving and keep being your fabulous little you. Just keep throwing glitter in today's face. That's what I say. And then here's the clincher at this episode. Nicole and Mary is catching up at Nicole's house, and Nicole is showing Mary, the update to the renovation that she's doing in her home. I gotta say, renovations are pain in the ass. Ooh. Um, so Nicole starts talking to Mary about Chriselle and the conversation they had at the Brokers Open, and how for Mary, it was the first time talking to Chriselle post breakup, where it was just the two of them, and as private as they could muster, right, at a Brokers Open. And Nicole throwing in the shade by asking Mary if Chriselle was into it as much as Jason was. She's referring to the relationship of Jason, the past relationship with Jason and Chriselle. And I'm like, damn, Nicole, girl, you are gunning for Chriselle. Like, what is going on? There's got to be something deeper to this, because you, girl, I mean, you came out with the daggers ready, and you are not missing a beat. And so Mary tells Nicole that she remembers Nicole having an incident where Nicole was upset after having had a conversation with Jason, but Mary can't recall precisely what transpired that brought this feeling out of Nicole. And Nicole proceeds to tell Mary that her personal mixed feelings about Chriselle stems from her personal knowledge of Jason having had a crush on Chriselle in the past, so he allowed Chriselle co-listings with Nicole, who is much more veteran compared to Chriselle at the time, to help Chriselle out as a newbie agent. But Nicole feels, or felt, and still feels like Chriselle took credit for the work that Nicole was doing to sell the homes ultimately, because Chriselle was a co-listing agent. So it brought a business to her. Basically, it's like it put her name on the map. Mary was just kind of like giving this, I don't know how I would describe it, like, like she doesn't really want to outright give an opinion yet, and Nicole just comes out with that. Nicole tells her that Jason outright threatened her that if she didn't keep her mouth shut about helping out Michelle and things like that, like, whoa, those are heavy allegations. Because obviously we weren't there, we don't know if it did or didn't transpire or whatever. And Nicole also wants Mary suggests that Nicole should probably talk to Jason and to air out, this grievance, and also to Chriselle. But Nicole feels like if a conversation was to happen between her and Chriselle, then quote unquote daddy, Jason, should not be there, because it would not be an even playing field, and Jason would just be there. It would be like Jason being there to protect Chriselle, so he wouldn't really be open to seeing a more objective point of view because again he would want to come to Chriselle's, according to Nicole, to Chriselle's side, to Chriselle's I gotta sneeze, sorry. Open to seeing a more objective point of view. Okay, so again, Nicole feeling like if Jason is there, Jason would readily want to be the knight in shining armor and try to rescue Chriselle in any way he can. So I was like, you know what? Is it me or is Nicole giving me Christine vibes? Like, child, these fireballs keep coming through. Like, I cannot wait for the next episode because it is something out of control. It is fabulously bombastic, and I'm here for it. Anyway, so there's that. That's episode 1 and episode 2. That's a recap of that. And of course, the side snark from Miss Sarsci Royale. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And I will see you again for the next few episodes, available episodes. So have a good night, darlings. Have lots and lots of fabulous fun. And don't forget, laughter is the best medicine, and to journey in gratitude. Okay, I'll talk to you later.